Hey you, I was hoping you'd drop by. Come on in, it's the first spell. We are going to dive right into a next 72 hours portal report, Halloween edition. I felt it would be the perfect time for this. This is the most potent portal of the year, and it is a time where we are moving between the worlds and the veil is at its thinnest, so there's a lot that can go down here. There's also a lot that can be seeded here. It is the closing of one complete turning of the wheel when we look at the old ways and working with a 13 moon lunar cycle. And so, in a way, it is New Year too. So even as we're letting things go, there's things to celebrate as well. Things are closing, things are opening, and such are the cycles of life. And so let's see kind of an overarching theme here. Let's dive into a little ARCANE BS, shall we? And just see what wants to come through in the seed of absurdity that will be flowing through the mystery over the next 3 days that will culminate with the closing out of Dias de los Muertos. So this is a real time of nurturing our roots too, respecting our roots. Remember those who have gone before us, calling forward those who were lost in the past year. And let's just hold that reverent peace in place too as we move through this time that can be a lot of fun and a lot of mischief in play too, but there's also that deeper undercurrent there. All right, let's check this out. So it's probably like a little bit of a mixed bag of energies this year. There probably is that spirited side that wants to have some fun, wants to have a little bit of mischief, but there's also the deeper undercurrent there that's kind of hard to ignore. Yeah, it is the thing that is going bump in the night. There's something interesting happening here, though. I do feel like there's I don't know why. I don't know why I saw this, but maybe somebody's been a little too stir crazy, you know? Maybe you've been too in your head. You've been hanging out indoors too long. Maybe you need to go out and have some fun. Just go out, you know, and check out everybody in their costumes. Just get out into the spirit of the air. Sometimes, you know, that's all it takes, but I feel like if you let yourself go out, you're going to maybe bump into somebody, or you might have a really interesting encounter that'll leave you scratching your head, but in a way that sort of like piques your interest, okay? So this doesn't have to be anybody that you know. It's just a really interesting encounter. You may feel like an instant sort of soul recognition, or you may even feel like this is sort of an otherworldly encounter. But there's something about what I initially saw with this is in The Shining, you know, the twins at the end of the hall. Yeah, and I feel like there's something here where it's like you might have a certain fear. I don't know. Do you have a fear around a couple twins, maybe? Maybe you do. Maybe it's around a Gemini. Interesting the way that came in. Somebody has some fear about going out and about. Maybe they're not ready to bump into people. Maybe they're not ready to socialize. Maybe they're just a little uncertain if they want to go out and about. They might be letting fear hold them back for some reason. They also could be feeling a little like, a little vulnerable. It's just giving me the impression of feeling like concerned. If I go out, I might run into so-and-so or something like that. And I don't know, some of you may, but I feel like it'll actually be a good thing if you do run into somebody here. 4:44 on the clock, okay? There's synchronicity around it. You might have a blind spot around your fear. You may not realize the way your fear is really holding you back. I also feel like some of you are really starting to experience an amplification in your own clairvoyance, in your own shining, you could say. And so maybe you're a little bit on edge. You might be picking up a lot of energies at this time. You might be talking to somebody. You might run into somebody and you talk to them about this, and you might kind of, I don't know, there's something about this like meeting of minds here, bumping into somebody and it being really kind of a cool connection. And there's something about the conversation and what develops there and what you two share with each other that it just has, it has a bit of faded vibes, right? And I feel like this is a character that you've encountered before. Maybe on other planes of existence, maybe in other lifetimes, maybe in your past. It could be somebody from the past. It's like a ghost from out of the past resurfacing. It takes you by surprise. And I think there's like some foundation around this that is rooted in fear. For some of you, it's just you've been in too long. You've forgotten how to go out and like be social and hang out with other people, or you've been getting too like freaked out by what you're seeing on the media about what's going on in the world, and so it's making you feel like isolating. But I don't think that this is something you need to worry about. And if you go out and you have some fun, I do feel like it'll be the start of something. Okay, maybe even just mark a passage of you like putting that time in your life behind you and being willing to go out and start to open yourself up to life again, even as we're honoring things that have come to pass. I don't know what this is, but it feels like whatever this meeting is, if there's some kind of conversation that's had or something about the exchange, it feels like it has a seed for your future, maybe a premonition for your future, where you get news from this person, word from this person that you encounter. There's some like connecting point there, or you hear word about somebody that you used to know or something. I don't know. This is interesting. I'm not sure what this is, but I know that there's putting fear behind you when you have this meeting. Yeah, I feel like somebody is going to open up a conversation with you. They see you, they're entranced perhaps, they're intrigued, they feel like they want to open up a conversation with you. They might want to communicate something to you. It could even just be like, hey, how you doing? I don't know why I got that, but this person feels like they have no effing clue how to open up this conversation. They just know with crystal clarity that they do want to communicate to you. And yeah, this person could have strong fire, strong air in their chart. It's possible. Got some kind of dragon energy here too. So I don't know, maybe they're dressed up as a dragon. Maybe they're taking a kid around to trick or treat. They're dressed up as a dragon. There could be like a dragon synchronicity around that, so keep your eyes open for that. This could be somebody who plays an important role in your destiny. It may seem like just sort of like just, you know, a typical exchange, or maybe it doesn't even feel like something monumental, but it leaves an otherworldly impression here. We got the pantless beekeeper here, basis of the matter, okay? So yeah, there's something here about somebody feels like a little bit exposed. A little bit exposed. Well, this might be the thing that's kind of like kept you held back a little bit. Somebody here has felt a little shy or a little bit uncertain about like expressing their desires to someone, their affection towards someone. This could be because they've been tied to a community that's been a little compromising. It seems like it's a community of people who like gossip, you know, they always want to know what everybody else's business is, and you know, it can get messy. It can get messy. I mean, I think this is somebody who, you know, they've felt sweet on many people perhaps, but I think that they want to be free from that, Okay, so that you could be bumping into a player here or hearing from a player here. And maybe they're seeing you. Maybe they're in costume. You don't even know you're running into this person. They're in a costume. This person's felt really held back in some way, shape, or form from approaching you. They feel like they become a little too domesticated. Ooh, that's interesting. Like something's become timid about this person, and it could be the influence of a community, like a group of friends or something, maybe some kind of BS they're dealing with from these people. It looks like they're cramping their style in some way, or they're too up in their business in terms of, you know, where they view sweetness. Where they view sweetness or where they have sweet feelings towards somebody. It's like they're almost trying to make an example out of this person because of where they see their sweetness is. Gosh, that's pretty lame. Yeah, so this person's kind of really like been towing the line. It looks like they've been sort of docile, and this person's not meant to be docile. This is really not who they are at all. This is who they really are. This person likes to move very spontaneously. This person likes it hot, you know. They like the unexpected. This could be somebody who's really prone to go rogue, right? This person could also be a surfer. I do feel like this person knows how to surf the waves of change. They don't mind making waves, but that's because they know how to hang loose on those waves. I think they may have dealt with some kind of compromising, messy situation. They might have been kind of like licking their wounds for a little bit. Whoever this character is, or this could be you. Pick what side you're on. And we are doing a collective reading here, so it can be a little of either or perhaps both. But somebody's freeing themselves from some kind of judgment, some kind of limitations around who they're allowed to have sweet feelings toward, who they're allowed to approach. Or even this could be like a self-concept. Like this could be like looking at somebody and being like, oh, that person's totally out of my league. And I feel like this person used to feel really confident, but in some way, they kind of got chained to an identity, perhaps by a community that really like cramped their style. And they're not meant to be that at all. So I think this person's going to take a risk. I mean, this is whoever this is, whether you know this person or not. And it could even be you, you know. Are you willing to take a walk on the wild side? I don't know. Are you? You feel conflicted. There can be some Gemini energy here. I think somebody here is not going to be caught up in confusion anymore. It looks like feminine here is saying, I know exactly what I want. I'm not confused at all. And so there is some kind of cutting away any sense of confusion, illusion. Could be masculine here is of two minds about something, you know. But it's interesting here because when I look at it face down, on my perspective here, this old man energy is like looking back to the past. But the younger man, this stronger man, is looking toward the future. So I don't know. I could even feel this as, yeah, how somebody has come to identify themselves with their ability to act on something, to take a risk. Maybe somebody's going to embrace a little mischief and play. Yeah, I might get stung. I might get judged a bit. I don't care. It's about time I flew above the rest. You know, eagle flies higher than the rest. I can see something they don't see. They don't have it all figured out here. And if it's a little embarrassing, who cares? At least I get to have that moment of like really holding that sweetness and just taking it in. Yeah. There are some busybody energies here. I see this. But it looks like where somebody's felt conflicted. You know, I think that they're going to take the risk. Maybe it's a risk to look foolish. It looks like the feminine here is like very clear about what they want, not confused at all. So this is good. Yeah, something's being cleansed here. Could be an Aquarius involved in this situation. That there's a new vision that's coming to be here, I see. And it's faced some opposition. And there's something about this meeting. I don't know what this meeting is. It could be, you know, you're just bumping into a stranger and they say something prophetic to you, or they spit, you know, something that just seems like nothing on the surface. And then later when you're thinking about it, you're like, wow, that really was some insight I got there. I just know that whatever happens here, it's giving somebody the courage to see that there's possibilities that arise out of what's come to a close. And there's no confusion here. There's decisiveness. And there's a desire to break free of sort of this docile disposition that is not somebody's true nature, but it's sort of what's been slapped on them to, you know, stay in their place within a certain social circle, community, where they really do need to hold on to the sweetness, you know. If they give up too much for the sake of favor, then they're going to lose that sweetness they hold. And that sweetness they hold, and you can look at sweetness as just that thing that makes you feel like, yeah, you know, I think about heading in that direction, or I think about investing in that, and that's something that's like, oh man, that'd be hella sweet, man. It is that. It's that energy. It's just like, that would be the thing, man, that would really lift me up, you know? That's the thing that would just feel good for me. And there's opposition around it. I see that. And somebody's trying to keep everybody happy. But they're about to break free of that. And they're about to decide that they'd rather revive. They'd rather revive an aspect of themselves that they let become restrained, too docile. That's what it feels like. Domesticated. You're meant to be more feral, okay? 17:16 on the clock. It could be an Aquarius, somebody with a strong Aquarius placement. Yeah, you might be bringing a tower when you reveal, you know, how you see something now. You could be bumping into somebody with a strong Aquarius placement. Or they could be somebody from Aquarius future there, you know, coming to visit you from the other side of the ring of fire that's going to come in on the 17th of February, 2026, a sign of things to come. There's something about this meeting, though. It sparks an awareness for you. And it does have you catching some wave of change where you're hanging loose here. Interesting. Any more details about this? This is really interesting. Tell me a little bit about this vision. There's some meaning connected to this. Nothing's random. That's all I know. Over these next 72 hours, nothing's random. Every conversation you have, everybody you cross paths with, you know, things you see in your environment, there's some kind of meaning coming through here that maybe won't make sense until that ring of fire in February 2026. We got vengeance here. I mean, I think the heart is coming back with a vengeance, and this is so good. Do you see this? It's like, look, enough of this, enough of being caught up in the head. No, the heart is what's fighting for my future here, not my head. I've gotten out of my head. I'm clear of the complication. I'm operating from higher consciousness now. I've faced all of those reflections, and I know what the true enemy was. So, like Alexander the Great, I cut that Gordian knot. I resolved the riddle. I didn't need to deal with the long way around this solution. It's been there all along. And I finally have my Fragarok. I finally have my truth there. And I'm just going to skate on forward here with a vengeance, though. With a vengeance. I do feel like this is moving forward very quickly. Very quickly, because of really understanding what's been getting in the way. What's been blocking your sweetness. What has you being too docile when you're meant to be more wild and feral. And The decision here seems pretty clear to move toward the sweetness despite the sting that may be encountered along the way. I mean, I do think there's a recognition of this, but there's also truth here. There's truth here, and there's finding a path of heart. And I feel like the clues are coming through. A rather cryptic, interesting meeting here. Whatever this is, whatever guidance you get here, whatever comes through in these next 72 hours, has you reclaiming your heart. It has you having a totally different vision. It purifies something too about the way you used to see yourself moving forward. You move forward quite easily. You cut off complication. You're no longer in two minds about something. I mean, this is good. Bottom of the deck, the digging ghost. The digging ghost. You're about to get down to the bottom of something. See, so it's got those kind of vibes of almost like an otherworldly encounter. You might go digging for something and stir up a ghost. You might go digging into something and you might get a visitation, you know? You could be getting a visitation coming through that gives you a clue. Helps you unearth certain treasure, what you need to reclaim your crown here. Reclaim your crown. Like there's something that's downloaded here. It does change the way you move forward. Ooh, I like this energy. It's cool. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, it's like a mystery meeting. Because see, this person here, you're not quite sure who you're dealing with. So you could be running into somebody that's like in full costume here. You don't know who you're talking to. And yet there's something about the meeting. It feels otherworldly. I don't know. I feel like this is something that's going to go down tomorrow night. I mean, at the time I'm recording this, it's just on the verge of turning October 31st, but by the time you'll be receiving this, it already will be that time. So I feel like this window is opening right now. This is somebody in costume. This is somebody handing out candy. This is somebody out and about where trick-or-treaters are gallivanting, or you're at some party. This is where people are in costume, you know? And this is the time this is going down. And whoever you're meeting here, there's like this sense that there's like layers upon layers upon layers upon layers of meaning between what was said, also just the whole energy of the exchange, what was happening around you at that time. Like there's some messenger coming in here. Yeah, saxophone fetus is very unusual, but this is judgment energy coming through. Like whatever this meeting is, it's giving you some kind of clue about the new cycle coming in. What's coming to be born on the other side? What's being released here? I'm telling you, you're going to strike some kind of gold here. There's some kind of treasure in this exchange. And it's going to be different for each of you. But I like this, okay? A bunch of cats posing as a woman. It could even be an interesting online exchange, you know? You're like, who are you? Who are you? I know you, don't I? Okay? It's got those kind of vibes. Let's get some more details about this. Bottom of the deck energy. Look, there's that Aquarian energy, the star. This person's connected to your Stargate in some way. There's something about this meeting, this exchange, whether it's coming in the form of somebody that is, I don't know why I got this impression. I wanted to say like physically here incarnate in this material reality or otherworldly. And yet I know very well that you can have a very physical experience with somebody and it appears that they are part of this material reality And yet at the same time, you know that, no, that was an otherworldly encounter. And those of you who've had that experience know, yes, there is some weird ass mystical shit going on here. There is something magical happening here. And there is some magic moment that's going to go down over these next 72 hours. And it's like, it gives you all the new beginnings. Do you see? You got some kind of power in your hands. You got a tangible new beginning here. You got an Ace of Cups and you got the Truth. You got all those 4 treasures of the Tuatha De Danann in there that you're working with. I also feel like you might be working a little magic here too. I think there's going to be a lot of people out there working their magic. So let's see what comes through for this. Again, Gemini energy coming in strong again. We do got some sword reference out here. So air sign energies. Aquarius real strong. Gemini real strong. You can throw Libra in the mix there too. Alright. Let's see what we got coming in here. So something's about to transform over these next 72 hours, and it might be happening in a very unusual way through a meeting. And there's something unusual, otherworldly about this encounter. Okay? There's secret things that are communicated here. It's like getting a little peek through the keyhole of the future. Whoa, yes. Look at that. That is the truth. There's something here that answers something that's been somewhat of a riddle for you. And it is tricksy energy too, right? But there's something about it. If you can see the opportunity for what it is and you don't just take it at surface level, there is a key here that's turning the wheel of fortune. Something transforms here. It's no longer fixed. It moves into a state of mutability. There's obviously something that's transforming here. Sagittarian energy, fixed sign energy as well. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. I mean, we've had a lot of Aquarian energy coming out here. 3 more shuffles I heard. Okay, 3 more shuffles so we can get another baseline energy. All right, I'll trust that. See what this is. I'm pretty sure this is going to come out upside down. Yes, it does. Ooh, I like this. Okay, so you're not going to be in the dark about something anymore. You're being put in a loop. And whatever this is, I feel like it helps you skate forward. Like, look at the vehicles for moving forward here. We have a surfboard. We have a skateboard. I mean, this person could be a skater. This person could be a surfer. They could be that type of character. Like, they like to just hang loose. They like to take things easy. All right? But it's also like the mode of transportation is different than you may expect for how you're going to be moving forward here. You're going to be skating forward. You're going to be surfing forward. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's not a lot of effort with this. There's not a lot of struggle. There's not a lot of heavy lifting. And you're not in the dark anymore. So I like this energy, man. All right, let's get some more details about this. This is shaping up as being interesting. Ooh, of course, though, it has to come in. It wanted to hide. 5 of Swords. Hiding out. There is this influence that's here, though. Okay? We do have to be aware of this character here. 5 of Swords. What's on the split of that? Ooh, I like this. So Justice. There's something that's being balanced out here. Look. We got 11 coming in with the 10. That's 21. That's the World. So this is coming to a close. This sabotage. Ooh, I like it. So the burden is going back from whence it came. So somebody's getting free of some chains here. That's what I see. They're not caught in any kind of complication. They're not caught in any kind of in-between place. They're not in any kind of bardo. Nope. You know what it makes me feel like? Somebody's just been holding back from doing something because it's almost like afraid of the sting of judgment or recrimination from like their social circle or their family or their friends, you know, co-workers, whatever this is, society as a whole. I don't know, you know, but whatever this is, it's this true person's like sweetness. It's like their nectar of life. And somebody is determining that they would rather experience the sting and judgment and perceived embarrassment of just finally doing away with being in this docile role where they have to revere their chains, and they're going, no, I'm tired of it. I'll go ahead and take it, man. I'll take it on the chin. I'm good. I want to really hold on to this part of me because this is the best part of me. This is the best part of me, the part of me that's wild and free. It's interesting. And somebody's getting free of something that's been super complicated. There's been a lot of secrets. And they're not confused. That's what I see. And whoever was causing this subterfuge, it looks like time's up on that. So I like that. That's good. I don't feel like you're going to have to work so hard to protect something anymore. Maybe you felt like you really had to protect yourself, or you had to protect your visions, protect what you were growing. You know, there's this sense of feeling like you always have to be at the ready because somebody's going to do something shady or somebody's going to sabotage something for you. And it looks like whatever this is, you're getting free of it here. Or at least you're getting what you need to get free of this within the next 72 hours. Looks like somebody's connecting with you and, you know, spitting some knowledge here, or it's a fateful meeting. This person's giving you some kind of opportunity. We got 9 of Swords here that is coming right on top of what needs to be cleansed. Okay. So there's some kind of fear that needs to be cleansed away. And it looks like the only way that this fear is cleansed is through acting on what this person's wanted to act on for a long time. And that person very well could be you. Maybe you just didn't know how do I need to go about it? What do I need to do? But you're getting what you need to move forward here. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going down in the next 72 hours here, but you're meeting somebody. You're meeting somebody. You're having some fateful meeting. I don't know. You could be getting a visit from an apparition. I don't know. You could be having a prophetic dream. I don't know what this is, but whatever this is, you'll know it because it'll make all your hairs stand up. You know, it's one of those things where you're like, oh my gosh. It could even be like you have a vision of your future self and you're like, oh no, that's enough to scare me right there. I'll get on it. 3307 on the clock, comes to 13, breaks down to 4. Yeah. You know, something that you feel is like bad luck is not. It's actually rather lucky. And it's something that does put you in a position of power once you break free of this. And I think this is where you've been, and you're trying to get out of this space of confusion or fear or stress, you know, indecision, feeling like you don't know what you can trust, feeling like you're held back in some way. I mean, this is the energy signature here, but this is what's being cleansed away here. And it's coming in through communication. And whatever this communication is, it gets you moving forward in a very different way. And again, you know, by wintertime, your life looks really different. Like what's shaping up there looks really different. But there's some, I don't know, some meeting you're having here that's really changing things. What's this 9 of Swords about? Somebody may also be afraid of getting hurt, you know, because there's this sense of like needing to get out and about and connect and, you know, not being in your head, in your fears, you know, but maybe letting a little bit of fun back into the mainframe here. Yeah, man. This is what it is. Don't worry. The 9 is going to go to the 10. And it's the best thing that could ever happen to you. Because once the 9 goes to the 10, do you see? Then you're truly holding your power with the 3 of Wands there. And finally, you get to see what you've been longing for starting to come in here. Comes in 13 energy again. Okay, Scorpio season. Could be speaking to Scorpio really strong. Could be speaking to part of your chart where you have a strong Scorpio placement. Or the 8th house where you have a strong placement in the 8th house too. If you don't have anything really going on in terms of Scorpio in your chart, do look at that 8th house. See what's going on there, okay? Because this could be a clue about what is going through some kind of transformation here. I feel like whatever is closing out, there's something here. There's been a lot of fear around it. But in this closing out, ironically, it leads to the sun. It leads to happiness, okay? 19. And it's a new beginning. And it opens up the road here. And whatever road it's opening up here, you know, it's a change. But this is what's giving you the keys to your freedom. I said keys. So I do feel like there's another here that's freed along with you. And that may be something that this communication, this meeting, or this guidance you're getting is all about. But this does turn things around. Yeah. Swiftly. It comes in, rushing in like the headless horseman. You know, it's like there's something that happens here that gets you out of your head. You know what I'm saying? And in getting you out of your head, then finally the action becomes very clear what's needed. There's some transformation here where something was arduous, slowed down. It goes through a complete transfiguration and all of a sudden things start to speed up. Maybe faster than you expect. What's coming in here? What is coming in here for the collective? This is wild energy. What is this coming in here for the collective? What's coming in here? Well, see, we got the 5 of Cups here. So, I mean, I feel like this is kind of catching you by surprise. Because there is some alignment. It's this meeting. This is where you're at right now, I feel. Got the Queen of Wands here. Fire sign energy. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. Tell me about this basis of the matter. Basis of the matter for this disappointment. It says, see? 2 of Cups. You don't see it. Because you've been kind of caught up in a previous disappointment. Now, that disappointment could have been caused by a Queen of Wands. That disappointment could have been that you couldn't connect with a Queen of Wands. Could have been related to somebody who was doing a little working. Maybe, perhaps. Okay? They don't have to be a fire sign. That could be a sign of somebody who was working with the arcane arts, working with a little magic. A little magic, maybe some mayhem, I don't know. We got the Empress here on the bottom of the deck, okay? Taurus, Libra energy. What's after the Empress? I mean, after the Empress here, we have the 10 of Cups. Interesting. And we have the 6 of Cups. I mean, we add this together. The 3 and the 10, 13 plus the 6, 19, the Sun, 20. It takes 2. Judgment. Like, this is, you know, this is something that you might be pretty surprised about. Whatever this is, there's some kind of news coming in here. Something you're learning about here, tangible, whatever this meeting is, about the closing of a cycle, and it opens the road. And this balances things out with temperance here. Sagittarian energy. And look at that. The devil's in reverse. Wow. What's behind the devil? Ooh. Ooh. So looks like the devil's getting tricked. That's the truth. Wow. The devil's getting tricked. Ooh, spicy. Yeah, look, because it opens the road. Wow. This is like something coming home to roost with the strength there. Triumphing over something that in the past had the power, but this power is being overthrown. You see somebody's getting free of their chains. Where did it go? They're getting free of their chains. Wow. Ooh. This is good. This is good, man. And it looks like wherever that burden was inflicted, it's being returned just by the nature of things. So let's see what we got here. Cut of the deck energy. Look at that. Opens the road. Aquarian energy, Aries energy. And we got the Three of Pentacles here. So something's being worked out here. That's what I see. What's behind this? Moving away from hardship. But I keep seeing there's like two here. There's two. There's two that are being sent away. There's two that are being sent away. I almost feel like one here, okay, is breaking away from these other two, and they're tied to whatever this meeting is, this news, this encounter you're having here. It's like they're breaking from this pact. It's coming through as a pact, like an oath or an agreement. Breaking from this pact so they can go off alone. They might have like a little trailing energy behind them though, like making a last ditch effort, trying to hold them back from taking this leap of faith. But I feel like they've really made up their mind. I mean, they're coming through as the King of Swords. They could be an Aquarius. They could be a Gemini. They could be a Libra too. But I really saw, well, I mean, the Empress did come out there. Somebody's making a very clear-cut decision here as the basis of this. Yeah, interesting. But there are two that are moving away here. Yeah. I mean, we got Eight of Pentacles coming in with justice here. So this looks positive. And there's a lot of like, yeah. And look, we got Aquarius there with the star. I just wanted to look more into this. There's definitely been some like maintaining one's position here. You know, fending off could be, you know, some magic getting thrown around here just with the way the Queen of Wands came out. Blocking that intrusion all day, every day, you know. Well, we got the star here. So strong Aquarius vibes, man. Star formulating a strategy for how to break free from where they've been stuck. And they know that they're dealing with a lot of opposition here, a lot of drama. Queen of Pentacles, okay? Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, right? So yeah, there's some kind of communication coming through here. Some kind of offer being made. Do you accept the offer? With the Queen of Pentacles come out here, could be connected to a Taurus, Sagittarius, is wanting to get out of jail, man. Wanting to get out of jail free, please. That's what it looks like, this kind of energy, okay? And somebody is really just wanting to go where they want to invest. Somebody's feeling really held back. Let me do... Did I already cut it? I don't know. I'm going to cut it again. Ace of Wands. Okay, so some kind of action's being taken here. We got a Page of Cups over here. It's interesting. This is a big energy to come in with this like Page of Cups. What's with this Page of Cups behind that? Judgment. Okay, so again, with this coming towards you, it's initiating the renewal cycle, whatever this is. Another Sagittarian placement here. But there's something about this that you're going to feel like there's something unusual about this encounter. Piscean energy coming in there. Page of Cups. Could be Cancer, could be Scorpio too. But this is a strong action that's being taken here with the Ace of Wands. And somebody's having to go through kind of like a gauntlet to be able to take this action. I think they're sort of trying to chart their course here. Like, how do I do this? That's what it looks like. They're not just going to do it aimlessly. Like, they know they have to be prepared. I got one shot at this and I got to take a real strong action to secure the field. That's kind of how it's coming through. There's a lot of opposition here. And they're breaking free. Looks like from some dynamic, some situation where maybe they were working with a few people. Okay, I don't know what this is, but whatever it is that's coming through here, you're getting some kind of word about this, some kind of clues about what you need to do to move forward. Interesting. Let's get some information from the Halloween Oracle. Bottom of the deck, sweetness and synergy. This is like some kind of harvest energy coming through here. This message about sweetness has been coming in, man. The underworld where all things pause and begin again. You see? In this space, over these next 3 days, man, there is something that is a signal of your harvest. That's the only way I know to put it. It looks like some tricky influence is being overthrown here. But there's something about this encounter you're having that feels very unusual to you. Don't worry about it, okay? You got protection here. The illumination's coming in. Got your ancestors there, trying to help you remember something. There's something you need to retrieve here. And you are protected, right? Leave a light on for them. They do like that. Leave a light on for them. Maybe leave them out a little sweet treat too. You might want to bring in a little bit of that more old-timey spirit of the season. You know, light a candle for your ancestors. Light a candle for those who passed on over the past year. Leave them out a little something. Leave them out a little treat. Speak some love to your roots, okay? I think you got those on the other side pulling some strings for you. They're bringing about something here that is a bit of a harvest. It looks like it's cool energy, but there's been a lot holding this back, whatever this is. There's definitely been some betraying energies here, some conflicting energies here, some embattled energies here. But where there has been sort of a sordid past, or where there has been something hiding in the shadows and it seemed like a real run of bad luck, it looks like fortune is about to meet opportunity through this fateful meeting. I don't know. Maybe you run into somebody at the library, or maybe you run into somebody at the bookstore, or maybe somebody gifts you a book, or you come across something in writing. You know, maybe you get a written message. But whatever this is, it's a signal of a new chapter opening here. And it's a continuation story, maybe even be like a continuation story from a former lifetime, you know, something you're meant to pick up at this point in time. But it does have this like impression. It does have this impression to it. Something about it feels like oddly familiar, you know. even if you've never met this person before, there's something that just dings with this exchange, this message you're receiving. You'll know it. You'll know it when it happens, because I feel like it's like makes all your hairs stand up. You know what I mean? You like get that moment of sentience where you're like, oh my gosh, I got chills running down my spine. Like, I know that this means something. And it's weird because I feel like as soon as that spark is lit, it's like such an accelerator. That's how it's coming through. It accelerates time. And in such a way where it lightens everything up, like it gets things moving forward. It has a little bit of kind of, I have to say, like blockbuster energy to it too, but not in the standard way you think of a blockbuster. Like there's not like some big like explosive moment or anything like that. But it still has the same effect in that it just like, it just like blasts the road open where it's been stuck for a long time. Yeah. Unnecessary fear. That's what I feel that it is. It's the end of unnecessary fear. That came out before, like the 9 of Swords. It's going to go to the 10. It's like a recognition that that's done. I'm not living in fear anymore. I do not need to hold myself back anymore. It is the end to that. Rest in peace with all of that. And by the 5th, with that Taurus full moon, it will be very clear that that time in your life is done because something is transforming here. That's what I see. There's an accelerating energy here. And at the very least with this, you know that it is done. Even if you don't see like some kind of major progression, you will feel the lightning effect. And it is like the fog is starting to clear and suddenly things are starting to click. Like you're like, I get it. I don't know what this is, but it is a key to your destiny. I feel that very strongly. Anything else about this? Themes that we should be cluing into here? Okay. Look at this. So something that was like a zombie that was just feasting off your brain, like taking up too much of your conscious awareness, is finally relinquishing control here. I do feel like this is coming to an end. It may even be something that you were afraid was like going to crop up again, or you thought that, you know, this lull you were having in any kind of drama was just temporary. Surely it's going to act up again. It's going to flare up again. No. No. It's an unnecessary fear. And if somebody's been worried about that, you may be just like, I don't care. I don't care if it stirs up drama. This is what I want to do. And it feels right. So I feel like it's the end of somebody trying to control something. It's the end of feeling like you have to have a tight grip on everything. It's the end of feeling like you have to have it all figured out. It's the end of living in fear. That's how it's really coming through. There's some gift and there's like a full recognition of it. And if you have been dealing with somebody who's been really problematic and they've been trying to exert too much control over your life, they are not going to be in that position by the time that full moon arrives on November 5th in Taurus. Something is very clear. Something has come to a close. It's like, I just heard like the end of a reign of terror. Some of you may have felt like that. I think you got, you know, your ancestors helping you out with this. This is something that also may have felt like a little bit of a generational link, like a generational curse, like something's getting uprooted, lifted here. And this is when you finally get to root the legacy and the love of what's woven into your DNA. So I like this. This is really good energy here. Let's do a cut of the deck. We have, again, the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. So you're absolutely getting some pearls of Persephone here. You're getting some wisdom here. And you're exercising some emotional intelligence in dealing with this vampire. This is somebody who has been just draining you of life force, could have been draining you of opportunities. This is somebody who may have worked with seduction. This is somebody that you've had to exercise your wisdom in navigating what they've kind of thrown on your path here. It could have just been smoke and mirrors. It also could be the parts of yourself too, you know, the parts of yourself that felt like you needed some kind of sustenance from another. And you're recognizing, no, I don't need to get that from anyone. I have the cup. I hold the cup in my hands. There's something that's really transforming here, but it does have that vibe of a draining influence. Oh, what wanted to fall away there? Oh, reducing the burden. Interesting. Yeah, there's something here where you recognize, I feel like there's a little bit of a dualistic message here. I feel like you're really figuring out what's been draining your time, your energy, your focus here. And because you're figuring that out, you're reclaiming this cup. And this cup is like filled with your nectar of life. There's something here that is really allowing you to come back into your power and be freed of this influence. I also feel like where you've been dealing with somebody here who has been a bit of a parasitic influence, you are exercising emotional intelligence around this person, or where they were an issue in the past, they're not an issue anymore because of some decisive action you took that just released you from any sense of complication. And I don't feel like this is done in an aggressive way at all. I feel like you're just letting go. And that's what's arriving you at this place of the bloom. So maybe you were dealing with a really complicated situation here. This could kind of give you more of a clue about the roots of this situation. You could have been dealing with a really complicated situation. It involved multiple people. There were a lot of passions stirred in this situation. And when I say passions, I mean not only attraction, but also rage. You know, passion can very quickly turn to rage, or people were very impassioned in their positions. There was intractability here. There could have been subterfuge here. I mean, it looks like it. There could have been some workings done here too. I do see some indications of that. I'll dive into that a little bit to get further details. There was something here that was a very draining influence. Somebody was really quite skilled at manipulation here, especially mental manipulation, emotional manipulation. And there was a need to exercise emotional intelligence in how you navigated a situation. And it looks like maybe your choice was just to let go. And maybe you were wondering, like, when do I really get to the other side of that? Maybe you were afraid this would crop back up, but I don't know. Whatever you did here, you navigated it in the right way. And you're about to realize what's on the other side of that. This has really come to a close. You finally brought the end to a cycle that had controlled the way your storyline went for far too long. That's what it looks like. And it looks like there was some real deep healing that happened here as a result too. What's behind this vampire? Look at that. Joy. Releasing the burden. Wow. Oh, this is beautiful. I love this energy. Okay, that's good. This is good, collective. All right. I don't really feel like there's even a need to really go into this. Like, was somebody throwing work around? Was somebody doing this? Who was doing who? Any of that? Like, is it really necessary? Not really. It doesn't matter. All I know is this devilish influence, because of some kind of emotional intelligence and how you navigated this situation, is being overthrown. It's not your burden anymore. And it's going to become clear because of some otherworldly encounter, like something about this puts all your fears behind you. I don't know what this is. It's foreshadowing. Let's see what magic you should work here. Ooh, look at this. Let the hunt begin. All right. I like this energy. We got radiance. So solar essence at the forefront here. Leo energy. We also got some high priestess energy hanging out here. We got the cauldron of Dagda there. So yeah, something's going to get cooking here. This road is opening. I love this. Look, it comes in here with Mercury and the Sun. So see, there's some kind of communication coming in here. It feels otherworldly. Judgment sounded on this, coming in with Rue. So there's protection here. And if somebody has been doing spiritual work, if that's something that's been on your mind, has somebody been stirring that cauldron? Well, they're going to have to lick the spoon. You know, that's the way it works. But I see that something's been balanced out here through strength and decisive action. This looks like judgment in favor of 2 here, right? And there's something about this meeting that's going to give a clue because this is showing communication. And something about this, it does, like it brings light into your life. And Rue is very protective against any kind of spiritual work. Or even if you've just like crossed yourself, jinxed yourself. So now would be a good time to do spiritual cleansing as well, because that was sort of like hinted at too. So let's talk about some other ways to sort of honor this time of year in the old way. Okay, you might want to do a complete revamp of your altar space. That's something I'm going to work on tomorrow and over the next few days. I like to change it over at that time. It's very meaningful because I can kind of like review the old cycle and really be mindful about what I'm putting in place. So you might want to set up a little altar space. And if you've already had an altar space up, clear out the old. Make sure you're getting rid of any remnants from previous workings you've done. And really set the intention for what you want to call in the next turning of the wheel. You might want to do a little spiritual house cleansing. You might want to do a little spiritual cleansing of the self, you know. Have a spiritual bath. It's a nice way to just release all the old energy. Also, make sure that you're clearing up a space for the ancestors too. Get your candle up for your ancestors. Make sure you pour them some libations. Maybe leave out their favorite treats. Or even sit and have coffee with them. These are nice ways to bring the energy in. Let's see what we got here. Bottom of the deck, acceptance. Yeah, this is interesting energy. Comes in with number 44 here. Okay. So yeah, I think you had the strength to just accept. Accept the way things went down. It looks like you're more focused on the details at this time. And the details you're focused on are what's needed to continue to grow, continue to heal. You know that those details are important, and I think that's where you're really focused at this time. I also like this energy because, yeah, there's like this tower reference here, but this is a tower of power. So you've risen above the challenges of the past, and everything that's coming through now, it's being sourced from your heart and being sourced from your creative center here. So this is really beautiful. This is when you're dreaming something new into being here, but you're also looking at the practicalities, like what in relation to the material realm do I need to do in order to create the healing that's needed here, the transformation that's needed here. And I think you've been focused on those more mundane details, but there is something coming through here that is an awakening moment on the other side of this acceptance. and it really brings in a new creative cycle for you, and it's very much your path of heart. Okay. Very dreamy energy around it, Neptunian energy around it. So Piscean energy coming in there. All right, let's see what we got. And again, the reference, isn't that wild? So both the cards that came out had the cauldron here. So we're absolutely heading into the healing phase with the cauldron of Dagda. And it looks like we do have the energy of Uranus here coming in with mercurial energy. And we do know that we got Uranus, you know, bumping up against Taurus there again during this cycle. So that's when there can be some kind of shocking things that happen. It's all about how you work with it. But I do know whatever comes through here, I really feel like it's a tower of power. It's purifying something here. It's purifying something that's really healing, actually. And it's the opening of a brand new journey. So this is a road opener. This is what's happening here. And there could be some of you out there that if you have been feeling really blocked, you may be like, you know what? I'm throwing caution to the wind. I'm doing a road opener. I mean, how bad can it get? Just be prepared, like road openers, you know, they can't get things rocking and rolling. But you know what? They can serve a purpose, especially if you felt really stuck for a while. You may feel like that's what you need to do. You know, bring in some dragon's blood there for protection on the journey. If you decide to go that route, you may. I mean, we got kind of like Black Moon, Lilith energy coming in there with Pluto energy. So I don't know. Yeah, you might be like, I am going rogue, man. It may get me exiled. I don't know. It may be a little bit rough, but better to go through a rough patch and be free than to live life in a cage. I agree with that. I do feel like there's a lot of protection here, though. Whatever you're doing, whatever way you're moving forward here, it looks like you're out of pocket, okay? You are out of pocket. You're maybe going your own way. You broke free from some influence. This could have even been like the influence of some kind of hive mind consciousness that was really holding you back here, but looks like blessings, protection. There's some kind of wish fulfillment coming through here, but you are going your own way. You are going your own way. Gemini energy with that, this is freeing you from the crossroads. You might be surprised how you're being freed from the crossroads here, but you don't need to worry as that Wheel of Fortune turns, man, because you got protection. You got a guardian here. Right? So yes, while we're journeying through this underworld territory, there is communication coming in here that's freeing you from this cycle. And it could be coming from an otherworldly encounter. All right, cut of the deck to cap this off. Passion flower. All right, so just give yourself over to this dreamy energy here. Neptunian energy at the forefront. We've got new moon energy here too. So we already know that there's going to be a lot going down in Sagittarius season. And there are two connected here. And we do have Sagittarius referenced here as well with the great horned owl. Great horned owl specifically is very protective, okay? So it's about really knowing what is worth defending and what it is time to release here. And there is something that is being cleansed away, purified, and released with that full moon in Taurus. But what's happening here, it's something that is happening in that liminal space of these next 72 hours. And it is a bit of magic in play. If you are going to work your magic at this time, okay, if you're an alchemist and you do like to work with ritual, it would be wonderful for you to do some kind of ritual around releasing what you feel is chaining you, holding you back, restricting you, or in some way disempowering you. This would be a very powerful working. And I feel if you work your magic in that way, you will experience some kind of release. and it will be easy. It's not going to be anything that's going to be difficult. There's not going to be any fight involved in it. Something will just be completely transformed here. And it's because something subconscious is going to be made conscious, and there's some kind of meeting happening here that's giving you a critical key that you need to open up the lock that's held you in these chains that have been restricting your freedom here. And it's the breakthrough moment. Look at that. Wow. Coming in with Mars and Uranus here. So Aries energy. And of course with Uranus, we have that Aquarian energy coming in there. And we also have Libra hanging out here with that sword, with the raven. So yes, magic at play. This is something that's happening in a very clever sort of way. And it's coming in with the energy of 39. That breaks down to 12. Blind spot's no longer a blind spot. A hidden enemy is no longer a hidden enemy. This is a breakthrough moment. There's a truth here. And this truth also activates your breakthrough. Okay. And this is the magician wielding the sword to act decisively, cut off what's been complicating, right? With that decision maker, you're just slicing right through it. There is something that's balanced out here. There is justice here. And you got all the aces after this. So I do see something really being set in motion here, and it is quite powerful. Wow. All right. So it should be interesting. I'm wondering, do I want to bring anything else up? Yeah, let's bring out a little spirit board action, okay? I can't help it. Yeah, 1:35 on the clock. Yeah, let's pull out a little bit of that Arisian spirit board action because it is the time. It is the time. Yeah, it's wild how I picked this back up together, both in reverse. It's no justice for this devil, or they won't view it as justice. Whoever this devil is, they're going to feel like it's not fair. I see that. But, you know, even their crowning, you know, it's true. You know, even whoever this slippery character is, they're going through their own rebirthing process, right? I mean, that's what's up. The good thing with that 12 energy, the blind spot no longer being the blind spot, you know, you take that 12th house energy, the 12 becomes the 3, the Empress here, okay? So it is that rebirth of Venus on the other side of this. And there's a lot that will grow from whatever action is going to be taken as a result of this meeting. But I do see, you know, a decision being made to cut off the complication and cleanse away what's been blocking this vision from manifesting. It's good energy here. What are we doing here? I just want to move these out of my way so I can have the board free. For bringing in some synchronicities through numbers, letters, names, places, messages. And just inviting the energies that want to communicate to come on through so that those who need to receive word can receive it. And let's check it out then. All right. Remember, with the names, it could be your name. If it's your name, it could just be there's something coming through there that is really highlighted for you. Pay attention, all right? It's not necessarily a judgment in any way, all right? Let's say it comes out in association with something negative that you're hearing about. It doesn't mean you're attached to that. It means potentially that there's something that you need to be aware of in relation to this. You're somehow connected. And it could be unbeknownst to you. Okay, so it could be highlighting a blind spot for you. Or, you know, if you have been up to some mischief in play and you know you did something you shouldn't have done, and you've been kind of stewing on it, it could be like confirmation on that, you know, but there could be some other stuff coming through that gives you clues about how to move through that energy. It could be the name of somebody you're going to run into. Maybe this person that you're going to link up with. I don't know, you know, something you need to pay attention to. But a lot of times interesting connecting points come through, and I do find that people find resonance with this. I hear about it all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I ran into a person with that name, or I did see a dragon, and I did talk to a dragon on Halloween. I couldn't believe it, Broad. So you might be surprised how things manifest. Okay, so yeah, we do have this energy here. Okay, so this is normally the paddy wagon, right? It's being caught up here. It's coming in really strong with an emphasis of 3, okay? So I do feel like there's been a crossroads here in relation to like 3 people. And somebody's felt really held back. I mean, that came through in the cards. Like somebody's feeling chained to a situation. It's like a guilt by association, or maybe something's just gone sour. It's like it used to work, but it doesn't work anymore, you know? And I feel like if you look at these 2 3s together, they're almost forming like an inverted triangle here. So it makes me feel like something's being drawn down here, right? It's going to give the key. That Tower of Power is coming down. It's going to give the key to bust one loose of this sort of being caught up, held up, being in the paddy wagon, you know, instead of being free to jump in that chariot that takes them where they want to go. So there's a self-known matter that is being dealt with here. Double this up, you got 6 energy there. So this could be something too that's been inhibiting the rebirth of the Venusian energy. There could be a Gemini connected to this. I mean, we've got the 3rd house strongly impacted here. There could be 2 here that need to come together, and they need to communicate in order to draw down what is needed to spring a lock on this thing. I could see that too. The 3rd through the 6th of November will be really potent in relation to this. I feel like that's when this has already been downloaded. There's already an understanding of what needs to happen to free one from the crossroads, and there's a moving forward here. Life path 3, life path 6, maybe connected to this. There's really strong life path 3 because I just noticed on the side here, look at that. 3 again, life path 1, life path 2 could be connected to this. Strong magician energy coming into play with this. Strong high priestess energy. Oh, I see. It's the magician and the high priestess are uniting through their communication, and they're drawing this down. Maybe even on the ether. Ooh, and see? They're trying to figure out how to spring a lock from this holding pattern so they can rush forward here. Isn't that wild? The plot thickens. We also got Empress energy here. Taurus, Libra, Cancerian energy, Gemini energy, Scorpio, Pisces in the mix here. Interesting. Okay, I think that's about all I got from there. Also, March will be a really bad, somebody born in March could play a role in this situation. That could be Pisces, Aries, Taurus could be connected to this situation. All right, let's see. What else do we got going on here? Let's look at some names, some places, see what we got. I got desk. So I don't know if you're going to come across something in a desk, like an important piece of information, a note. Maybe you're clearing a desk out. There could be a clue in a desk. Let's see if I can get any details about that. I got CEO here. So a CEO is clearing out their desk. Somebody may be leaving their position. There might be some kind of clue that's unearthed in a desk. Interesting. I got Dune coming in here. Now, I know of somebody, sort of by proxy, who was named Dune. So there could be somebody named Dune here. This could also be something in relation to the future, you know, and how things are going to go here. There could be a clue about this. There might be a clue about something going down. This feels like macrocosmic energy a little bit. There could be a CEO that is clearing out their desk. Maybe because they came across some information about plans for how things are going to be rolling out on the future tip here. It almost feels like coming into awareness of like they know too much or something here. So somebody's being released from their position. Interesting. Not sure what that is. I got Hennessy here. Okay. Why am I picking this up? This sometimes happens when I drop in with these. I pick up bigger energies. It reminds me of Cardi B's sister, Hennessy. She's a Libra. Cardi B's a Libra. That Libra energy came in, so I don't know if there's a connection there. This could be being at the club, you know, having some fun. If you're a CEO, I don't know, maybe you're dressing up as one of the characters from Dune, or you're going to a Dune themed party or something, a little retro action there. If you're a CEO, you know, watch what you're drinking. You know, it's fine to enjoy yourself at the work party, but don't get yourself into a position where, you know, it could cause problems at your job. I also have to say with Hennessy, I got help, H-E-L-P, help. Be aware of taking drinks from strangers too, all right? Don't put yourself in a compromising position, all right? And keep your eye on your drinks at all times because, you know, people pull shady stuff. Just make sure you're being aware of your surroundings, okay? And make sure you have somebody keeping an eye on your drink that you can trust, you know, if you do need to go use the restroom or something. I got Jules coming in relation to that. Name Jules, Julian, Julie. I got X in connection with this too, so there could be an X connection with this. All right. So just be aware of this. Be careful. Be careful out there. Have fun, but be safe too. All right. Any other ideas coming through here? I think most of you have a real fun time period here ahead of you. I do feel like there's some things coming through to lighten things up, but you know, just be aware of certain things you need to be on the lookout for, just common sense stuff here. Let's get some places. Any places want to come through? I got the name Les. 2. Made me think Les Paul. All right, so I don't know. Somebody could be connecting with a guitarist. Might be going out to see some live music. That might be where you have this meeting. I also got DJ here. So yeah, some of you are hitting up the club. You're going to a party. Yeah, if you're going to a party, make sure you're just keeping an eye on your drink. I don't like the way that came out. Okay, be mindful. And if it's an office party, you know, have fun. But don't go too crazy. Otherwise, you might be clearing out your desk when Halloween's over. All right, anything else here? I think that's it. All right. Oh, could be something going down on X too, in relation to a CEO clearing out their desk. Right? That might come through in that sphere. All right. Have a good one. Have fun. 1:25:44 on the clock. I know whatever comes through here, it's a magic moment. It's a bit otherworldly. It puts some power in your hands. It's a vehicle for moving you forward. It gets you over the hump of the past. And there's something here that's had somewhat of a restrictive force that's getting overthrown. So that ain't half bad. Have fun. Be careful. You know, look out for each other. And I think you'll have a lot to celebrate over these next few days. At the very least, you're going to feel like things are lightening up. And you do have some sense about your next steps. And I feel like before you know it, it's going to ramp up. There's going to be a lot of movement forward. And the more that you can let go, and the more you can go with that flow, and the more that you can trust that you are protected here, and that it's safe for you to push the envelope a little bit, you know, to really trust what your heart's telling you, I think that you're going to like the way things turn out. Looks good. Some kind of fateful meeting here, though, that has all the signs of destiny written all over it.